Hey guys, welcome to my blog this week. We're actually going to talk about something a little bit different than what you'll see in, I guess, some other blogs and what some people teach and things. We always talk about what to play it this way, do it this way, play it this fast, this slow, and all this note, whatever. I'm actually going to talk to you today about what not to play. It's something that, like I said, it's kind of something you kind of fall into, and I'm not going to mistake in that whatsoever. There's a lot of things when I'm talking about not playing, I'm really talking about a lot of mutes. You kind of just fall into it. I do not know, and I've tried to rack my brain on how I came about it, and did I practice a certain thing, certain song or something that actually made it easier for me, or maybe cognizant of it that I'm doing it? I don't know. I couldn't come up with anything. So I'd like to say that a lot of this actually is going to come about just you playing. So, I mean, I'm going to still yet try to give you at least an introduction, at least a guideline to kind of help you out when it comes to muting. And, ultimately what it does is it adds a lot more to your playing. So it's not like I was saying, it's things not to play. It's not always what you do play. It's a lot of sometimes of what you don't play, what you leave out. So just kind of like for an example on that, a lot of blues, Stevie Ray Vaughan type stuff. He's got a real percussive right hand on him. And a lot of that comes from what's being muted on the left hand. A little standard little blues shuffle. That right there is, I'm only playing one note at a time with my left hand, but it sounds like so much more is going on, and it is because all the other notes are being muted with my left hand, but I'm still yet raking them across the strings here. So kind of like, so there's that first note of that little, you hear that? I'm playing the first one. And what's going on there is just my pinky is playing the note, but then all of this other stuff over here is literally just laying on top of the strings. It's not being pressed down or anything. If I took that pinky off, you've got nothing more than mutes. So that it's a series of that on all of those. That next note right there, I've got that one finger across here on our fifth of the E, and the rest of it is just muted. That's it. That mutedness actually adds a whole lot to even just something as simple as like a power chord. Going for something like adds a lot to it, and a lot of that is just being able to keep this right hand going free and keeping that rhythm and that little groove instead of being real surgical, if you will, by just trying to stay on. A lot of, like I said, surgical moves on that. It's really, really hard. So just be cognizant of how you're forming some of these chords. And like right now with this playing here, well, let's play something. Let's just play a D. D5, power chord D. Basically what's going on here is I'm literally just playing this note and this note right here. But you notice that this is one of those things that just, I can't explain it. It honestly just happened, and I never consciously did it myself. Just something I just started noticing when people would ask me, well, how come this is happening, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this finger is actually muting my E string. You can actually see it, just barely touching it there. I'm not playing it here. It's over just far enough to where I'm not on top of it, because if I get on top of it, it's going to be really weird to press down. I actually get a buzz and not a mute. So I've got my finger just touching it, and then it's also creating the mutes for the rest of the strings too, because all I'm using here is my pinky to play our other note here. So I can literally do just like that. And that helps a lot on that upbeat. So if I'm just really helps out with that mute instead of trying to be real surgical like that, because I don't have time to think when I'm playing, to be down that, looking at it, making sure I'm hitting those two strings. It's just not going to happen. Here's another one real quick. John Mayer's Your Body is a Wonderland. So what's going on there is I've got this one note right here, and then I've got, we're basically just playing an F chord here with that A form like this. There you go. Or like this. But we've got this note, and then playing upbeats. So when I'm playing that F though, you notice again, this finger is muting this top string. So that when I'm doing my upstrokes, and if I accidentally hit that E, it's not going to sound that like an overtone type thing in the background. That just something just doesn't sound right. Well, it's that E note being played if I don't mute it. So there you go. I mean, that's a lot of the left-hand stuff is where a lot of the mutes go or come from when we're actually playing. But no, don't mistaken, a lot of us understand and know about the old right-hand palm mutes back here too. So don't underestimate that stuff also. I don't do a lot of palm on the strings back here and muting like this. I find myself doing more of hitting. I mute as I play the string instead of just having my palm existing right there on the back of the bridge here and then playing. I find myself going, lifting my hand up and hitting the pick and my palm at the same time. That's a little bit different than what some people do, but it's something that's out there again, and I can't explain it. It's just something that if you're aware of it, that it exists and that people do it that way, then you're a little bit more apt to follow suit with that. So good luck with it. Just always know if there's something missing in the song that you're learning. It's probably, in some cases, it's mutes. You're either hitting too many strings and you need to pay more attention to the chord that you're playing and what notes not to be playing, and find out a certain way to maybe just, like I said, move one finger over just a little bit to touch it to mute it, or have a whole finger kind of work its way all the way over, some way to actually just mute those strings. Just pay a little bit more attention to it, and you'll find that you'll add a lot more dynamic type stuff to it. Variations of some of the stuff that you already play. If you can clean it up a little bit more, make it just sound better if you try to mute out some of that stuff that you obviously know that just does not belong. So take the time and the effort to mute out some of those notes, and I think overall you'll find your playing is just going to be that much better. So, all right, any questions, just shoot me an email at terry.collier@musicinside11.com, and I appreciate you checking out my post. And any questions, like I said, just shoot me an email. Thanks. Bye.
You see that mountain over there? Yeah, one of these days I'm going to climb that mountain.